Hello and welcome. You're watching the Tov Jewish News channel. My name is Michael Wielensky, and my guest in our digital studio is Moshe Feiglin, the head of the Zeut party, of the Identity Party. Moshe, welcome to our digital studio.
Hello, Mike.
Moshe, you're famously critical towards our Muslim neighbors. You don't really believe in their clear intentions. I want to ask you about the Arab Emirates and the other countries with whom we have signed the Abrahamic Accords. So how do you say, from one hand, you cannot trust of any Muslim country, but on the other side, we have signed accords with some Muslim countries, and they have stood by our side since the beginning of the war. Are their intentions not as they seem?
Whoever is standing on your side doing it because they have interest to do so. No one is holding your hand because your wonderful blue eyes. Okay? That's not the point here. I'm all in favor of good relationship, that the economical relationship, in strategic relationship. But I don't want peace with Muslim Arab countries. I don't want peace with them. I don't want, for example, to sell the Egyptians gas, as Israel is doing today, okay? To have a peace agreement with the Egyptians, and in order to keep that peace, let them send weapons to Hamas. And in order to keep that peace with the Egyptians, let them bring a tremendous amount of weapons and an army into the Sinai desert against this agreement. Not saying anything against it, because I don't want to destroy the peace, so-called peace that I have with the Egyptians. I want to have a relationship with the Arab countries that leans on respect and interests, common interests. That's all. I want every country that I'm in relationship with in the Arab world to know that I can immediately turn my back on them, and there is no psychological need for me to that feeling of I don't need them to love me. Basically, I'm not looking for their love. That's not what I'm missing.
Do you think that the Emirates and other Arab countries are still interested in the destruction of Israel?
I don't know, but I know one thing: if they make an agreement with me, it's not because they love me or hate me. It's because they need me. Okay, and as long as there is need, there'll be good relationship. Once look what happened with Saudi Arabia, right, just now. They warm up the relationship they have with Iran. Why? What happened? It's all about interest. It looks like, definitely after this attack and the very weak response of Israel, that the Iranians are the strongest neighbor around. So we need to have good relationship with them. So suddenly there's embassies again, and so on. That's how it works. That's how it works. It's not about hugging and kissing and waving flags and signing agreements on the balcony of the White House. That's not what it's about. And I don't want them. I don't want that with them. I want respect and the relationships that based on interests. That's all.
Okay, and if you would be the Prime Minister of Israel, with which countries would you want to strengthen, our diplomatic relations, and with which countries do you think we should weaken our diplomatic relations because they're not affecting us well? How do you see the ideal international situation in terms of Israel's benefit?
Well, first of all, we should not let nobody attack our national pride. For example, when the Turkish president calls our prime minister the Hitler of our time, okay, he says that Netanyahu is like Hitler. I cannot understand how come we still have an embassy over there. How come we still have a relationship with Turkey? On the other hand, there are countries that always stood on our side. We know our history. They're
Like which countries?
like the Czechs, for example. Okay, in other countries, we should start respect ourselves. I would cool the relationship with France, for example. I'm not saying to disconnect any kind of relationship, not have economical relationship, not even with Turkey. But we have to radiate a basic sense of national pride. If you don't respect yourself, no one will respect you. And when they don't respect you, at the end, they fight against you because they think you're weak. And they're right, by the way.
What about Israel's relations
So,
with Russia and China?
and for example, I would definitely weaken the relationship with America. It destroys us. It destroys us. You asked before, is America today is Israel today is just a colony of America? And the answer is yes. Definitely yes. And I don't blame the Americans for that. Just the Israelis. Because the Israeli leadership, from its own little teeny political interests, wanted it to be like that. The top generals in the Israeli army, like General Fuchs, who just tonight destroyed more settlements during the war. People that Miluim soldiers that came back home from the war to a destructed house in near Gush Etzion, still wearing the uniforms from Gaza, buried their friends, and then coming to a home that the Israeli army destroyed. How that happened? Because that General Fuchs, okay, owe his position to the Americans. This is
Moshe, and
insane.
what about the relations of
This is,
Israel
this
with
is
China
insane.
and Russia?
This is okay. One second. This is so. First of all, we should stop this ridiculous aid from America. Netanyahu promised to do it 20 years ago already and didn't. Okay? We should stop it. It destroyed the Israeli economy, and much worse, it destroyed the Israeli security. We stopped winning wars after the 6 Day War because we started getting the so called American aid that led us to that position that today the Americans sitting inside the headquarters of the army during the war.
Moshe,
It's not that the
I'm very
leaders.
sorry.
It's
We're
not that
just
the
running
leaders.
out of
Leaders
time, and
talking.
I'm really interested in
Okay,
hearing your
and
point of
now
view
and now
of Russia and China.
now other. Okay, look, China is led by an evil regime. Okay, with China we have an economical relationship. But we should understand that China represents evil concepts, evil ideology. They arrest people by the millions and selling their organs. We, the chosen people, we, the people of the book, should say something about it and not deal with China just as another country. We have a moral message to the world. We cannot be just saying nothing to China. With Russia, we should have a relationship basically like we have today. Not everything needs to be changed. Okay, but I'll give you an example. We had a chance. We had a chance when when the Syrians, when Assad bombed his own children with gas, if you remember. Okay, we could bomb his Air Force bases without even crossing the border. We could avoid it from happening. We could behave as a real regional empire. And because we did not do this, we got the Russians here instead. And now Israel airplanes cannot fly above Syria, almost cannot. So this international game, okay, is all about how do you see yourself. If you a rabbit that it is a lion like you were in 1948, then guess what? You're a lion. But if you're a lion and think that you're a rabbit like today, then guess what? You're a rabbit. So because we have the abilities of lions and we have the generations of generation today of lion, but we have a leadership of rabbits, okay, we find ourselves in the 7th of October, and 3 months later in the International Court of Hague as as the one who are blamed, and being run, and our army is being run by the Americans against our basic interests. So the bottom line is we got to change this leadership quickly before anything that's left from Israeli sovereignty will disappear.
Moshe Feiglin, it's been an amazing interview. It's always a pleasure to interview you. We had with us Moshe Feiglin, head of the Zod Party. Thank you again, Moshe. And thank you also to all of our viewers who saw this interview. Please don't forget to subscribe to us to all of our platforms. Don't forget especially to subscribe to our YouTube and WhatsApp. You will see the link in the description. Thank you again. Have a great day.